Alright, I was asked how to go about picking targets for attack. There's different ways to look for targets to attack. It just depends on what's best for you, how well do you know your troops. Some people look at level, some people will look at crown, some people will look at resources so they know what they're taking. What I look at is I'm going to look at walls and the wall setups. If I don't like what I see, I'm either going to hit next battle, in which case I will pay for jumping to the next attack, or I can hit leave battle. Pay close attention to the walls. If the walls are darker, it's going to be a lot harder to cut through them. Look at the guns. The bigger the gun buildup, the bigger the damage they'll do. Look at how many walls they have and how tightly packed they are. Walls that are compact, your wall breakers will come through and they'll just charge through them. But if they're bigger walls, like what this guy has, your wall breakers are probably going to end up dying on the first wall. Big thing, know your troops, know your layout, know what the troop can do. Look at the guns, see what guns are down. Like the Sorcerer's Tower, you know that's down, so that's a good chance you might be able to get in there because it's one less gun shooting at your troops. Look for patches inside of the walls. That way you can possibly attack a wall without having to cut through the walls. Another thing that you can look for is the tower placements. If somebody's nice enough to place all their towers along the walls, they're being obligeable and you can attack them pretty easily and cut down through their town. One thing to watch out for is openings like this one here. Looking at that there, I am almost willing to bet that that is actually a trapped section. Guild Hall. Look where the guild houses are. Look for the bunkers. There and there and there. Guild house, bunker, bunker. When you see those, you know that they have a possibility that there's going to be troops coming out of them to attack your troops as you're launching your attack.
Okay.
If it's possible to use your Thor to smash into somebody's town, look for the sheep tower, see if your Thor can hit the tower easily. Another big thing, I know Peaches has a problem with this one. Make sure your boats are full when you attack. Otherwise, you might not be able to get into the town. Another thing to look at is how much did you spend on your troops? Did you spend... Did you spend 20,000 beer? Did you spend 15,000 beer? If you're going to be low on beer, make sure you know what you spent before you even bother attacking. That way you're not going to end up losing beer on the attack. So where was I? Sorry, I launched an attack real quick. Then the other thing you can look at is the way the new system works. The town hall level and the player level affects how many war points you're going to get. If your guild's doing alright, then go ahead and attack, no matter what the war point is, as long as you think you can take the village. If you're not doing alright, then the amount of war points that's possible for you to acquire is going to be located up here along with your crowns. Along with how many you'll lose if you get defeated. Depending on the level, you might not get any points. There's only one good thing I've seen about those attacks where you get no war points, and that's that it creates experience points in order for you to level up your heroes. So, in recap, actually before I recap, I just thought of another thing I can mention. Some towns, you know there might be a dragon like right there, which that's a good example of my hole in the yard that you can put the troops in. Some people are possibly going to be hiding dragons in the corners. I've noticed that here lately. is that people are going to hide dragons in the corners in the hopes that it'll prevent you from getting 100% on their attack. Alright, so in recap, some people recommend looking at level. In my opinion, what level stands for is how much have they upgraded, how many battles have they won, how much have they done to their island, have they gotten rid of all the trees and rocks. Or my recommendation again is that I look at walls, wall layout, and guns and gun placement. Whichever one works for you is what's going to work. It just depends on your strategy and upon your troop layouts, knowing your troops, knowing what they can do, knowing your heroes and your hero layout, which I can get into that here in a little bit. But in general, it's just knowing what you can do and what your troops can do in the layout of the base. Alright, I made mention knowing your hero's layout. Right now there are 3 heroes in the game. You have Thor, you have Fenrir, and you have Valkyrie. I only have 2 of the 3. I haven't had the gem see the 3rd one yet. Let's see, where did I place Thor? I just redid my yards. I gotta find out where I put Thor at. I don't remember where he's at. Fenrir's right here. You can get equipment by using the craft, which uses your nectar, or some people call it their goo or their snot. And it gives you different stats depending on what you get. You get medallions, you get weapons, and you get a belt. Each individual item will affect different things. For example, I just crafted an item for Fenrir. I got the Twisted Axe of Time, which is a common level 75 weapon. It increases attack speed by plus 0.2. Then you have other items that will increase your armor by a percent level. And you have other items that will increase your damage. Some items, like some of the Odin set or the Goblin set, they're actually going to increase multiple items because they're a rarer item. With Fenrir, you have the chance of items that will add to your evasion scores. You have stuff that will add to your health. You have stuff that's going to add to your armor, your damage, your attack speed, and your evasion. Which is all going to go up as your character levels. And as you can see, if you click on the question mark, it gives you a quick little help box. Your hero stat will improve over level, and it will improve depending on the items that you give him. And as you can see, the higher you go in level, the higher the nectar cost is. But it's also going to be the more powerful that it is. At a level 101, I get a pennant of burnt pennants of the elements, which if I decide to use it, will add 9.2% to my armor class on Thor. Which, be careful when you do this. Some of the older stuff, when you level up, is actually more powerful than the newer stuff, depending on how common or rare it actually might be. And that is your equipments and your heroes that will help you on your attacks. Personally, when I attack, I like to use Thor, and I'm going to use him as my wall breaker. And then once he breaks into a wall, I'm going to have him knock out the sheep towers and the other towers so that I can place my troops a little bit easier. But that's just my preference. Whatever works for you works for you. I know my preference, my attack style doesn't work for everybody. It just depends on layouts.